Hello, good evening everyone. So, my name is Sikai Song. It is an honor to be here today. Thank you, Ms. Hernandez, for asking me to speak. And thank you to all the wonderful teachers, counselors, staff, volunteers, students, families who have made tonight possible. And then remember that tonight is a celebration of you all, the graduating class of 2019. Give yourself a round of applause. So, when Ms. Hernandez first asked me to do an inspirational speech, I'll admit I was a little hesitant. I thought about it for a while and I agreed, but all I was thinking was, why me? What words of advice could I give? What the heck do I know? Because truthfully, most of the time, I still feel like I'm 17 again. Just living day to day, just trying to figure things out. I forget how long it's been. I graduated Mount Eden class of 2010. It's almost been 10 years since I've been here at this school, yeah. And you know, sometimes it feels like high school was just yesterday, like an old TV show I can put on whenever I feel like it. And sometimes it feels like this hazy dream, and I can only remember blurry outlines and, you know, vague memories of nothing really important. And suffice it to say, I have learned some things over the past 10 years that I would want to share with you all today. So I thought to myself, what would a 17, 18-year-old me would have wanted to hear back in high school? And so what I remember is that high school was hard, really hard. It's not easy balancing schoolwork, extracurricular activities, homework, with your social life, family obligations, sleep. And during senior year, I remember it was really hard applying for college, especially when my parents couldn't help me with the applications because they didn't know how. And it was hard figuring out the ridiculous maze that was financial aid. And I was so lucky to have the help of all my teachers and counselors and college prep programs like Summer Search that helped guide me through the process, and I couldn't have done it without them. So when I got into UC Berkeley, I was ecstatic. I told my mom and she burst into tears because all her sacrifices, all the hardships that she had faced here in this country as an immigrant woman who could barely speak English, it was all worth it. So even more than going to college, I'll be honest, I was excited to just leave. I had grown up in Hayward pretty much my whole life, and I was ready to see what the world had to offer, and I remember fantasizing about new friends and the new identity I would take on, and all the new experiences I would embark on. And so the night before my first day of college, I was 7 years old again. I was like laying out all my new clothes and school supplies on the side, just like how I used to when I was in the 4th grade, and I couldn't sleep. But college wasn't exactly what I had imagined. Navigating the huge campus was a challenge. Figuring out my schedule was hard, and I felt lost in the sea of so many faces. And even though I was at Berkeley, which was only 45 minutes away, I never felt further than the home I knew. I never forgot my shock that first week when I discovered that many of my classmates did not grow up like I did. They went to private school, they went to summer camp, their families went on fancy vacations every year to Europe. They shopped at fancy organic grocery stores. Their dogs ate foods I couldn't pronounce. And I remember feeling small and ashamed that my family never took vacations. We shopped at these Chinese grocery stores where nobody spoke English. All the produce was cheap. Both my parents weren't doctors or professors or CEOs, you know, and they themselves didn't speak English very well. I remember getting my first C on a test in college, below class average, and the disappointment when I wasn't as smart as I thought I was. And I started feeling like I was less capable, less intelligent, less worthy than my peers, like I didn't deserve to be in college and that I was an imposter. And so this imposter syndrome may be something you all have maybe already faced, or maybe will go on to face. And so I have 3 pieces of advice for you all as you enter these new spaces and navigate the world after high school. My first piece, find your people. Navigating a new space is not easy. It's harder to do it alone. And you can define people however you like. Maybe it's people from, where you're from. maybe it's people who are also into photography or soccer or poetry, but they are essentially people that speak the same language as your heart. And they are your biggest supporters. They're your family when you're away from home, and your rock when times get tough. You need that community to lean on. And for me, that meant finding other students who identified with that first generation, that immigrant, that working class struggle, so that I didn't feel alone going through college. And once I found my people, everything else came easy. Second piece of advice, believe that you can do it. You will meet lots of people who will tell you that you can't. You will find people who are smarter than you, more talented than you, just better than you in every way. And I'm telling you now, don't get intimidated, because most of the time it's just a front. And then secondly, forget everybody else, because other people's words and actions shouldn't have an impact on how you view yourself or your dreams. Look at all that you've done. Remember that you are also smart and capable and talented. And if it doesn't work out the first time, it's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fail, to not know how to do something right the first time. Trust in your abilities and just do it right the second or the third or the fourth or the fifth time. Third piece of advice, stay rooted. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of going off to a new place, but remember where you're from. Think about all the hardships you overcome to get to where you are today. Think about all the obstacles your family has overcome, all the sacrifices made so you could have a shot. Our families did not cross oceans and borders and rough terrains for nothing. Use your story to your advantage. And then once you are in a position of power and privilege, use that to help people who have less power and privilege than you. Don't forget where you're from. I learned to stop feeling ashamed, started feeling proud of where I'm from. And with that realization came the confidence that I am just as worthy and capable and smart as anyone else around me. And so today, I stand before you, a medical student at one of the top medical schools in the country, and in 1 year, I will graduate with my MD and become the first doctor in my family. And I really couldn't have done it without all the help I received along the way, from all the advising from mentors, counselors, family, friends, community, from both Hayward and Berkeley. And the only reason why I even wanted to be a doctor in the first place is because of where I'm from and where I've been. And my goal is to give back and work in these limited medical access areas to help immigrant patients navigate cultural, language, legal barriers, help patients believe that, they can improve healthcare and access for everybody, including the marginalized and underserved. And I say this all not to emphasize that I'm special, because I'm not. Back in high school, I didn't know that being a doctor was an option. So I'm here to tell you, it is an option. And as cheesy as it sounds, you can do anything you set your mind to. You are strong, you are unique, and you have power. You each have skills and talents that you can use to change society and shape the world that you want to live in. Your stories are so important, and you have the opportunity to make a difference in your community. And if you are feeling a little scared or nervous or worried, that's okay. A really good friend of mine once told me, you are the most uncomfortable right before you grow the most. You all have grown so much these past 4 years and accomplished so much, but it's not over. You still have so much more left to accomplish. So I hope you take that discomfort, that restlessness, all your worry, your fears, turn it into fuel for the fire of your dreams. Thank you.